I've lied before. I mean, who hasn't? But they were small lies, white lies, lies that wouldn't hurt anyone. And that no one even really knew were lies. When I told my friend Nicole last year at the 6th grade dance that no one could see her underwear through her dress, even though everyone totally could, especially when the revolving lights passed over where we were standing, by then, Nicole's mom had already dropped us off and gone home. So unless Nicole wanted to change into her gym clothes or find someone who had an extra non-underwear exposing dress hanging around, there was nothing anyone could do about it. Or the time my mom asked if I was feeding tuna to the cat, and I told her I wasn't, even though I was, she couldn't figure out why he was gaining so much weight when he's on his lean kibble. But since the vet said he's perfectly healthy, I figured giving him tuna wasn't a big deal. But, like I said, these are small lies, minuscule, even, not life-changing. And besides, I don't make it a point to lie all the time. Until last summer. Of course, when I somehow became the biggest liar in Connecticut, creating a total made-up life that had nothing to do with my real life at all. My mom says that karma always comes around to get you. And I guess it's true. Because last summer, I was a total liar. And now, right here, in the middle of Mrs. Pritchard's 3rd period math class, my whole world is about to come crash. Mrs. Pritchard she's in the front of the classroom, and standing next to her is Lexi Cortland. Which pretty much means that my life is over, because Lexi knows I'm a liar. Actually, no. She doesn't know I'm a liar. She's the one I lied to. And now, she's here, and it's going to become apparent that I'm a liar because Debbie! Oh. Alexis, do you know Devon Delaney? Yes! We only spent the whole summer together. Great. Why don't you take the seat next to her? It always helps to see a familiar face. Debbie! It sounds weird having her call me that, since everyone else at school calls me Debbie. Hey, I say, wondering if I should pretend I don't know her. I could make her think she was mistaking me for someone she thought she knew. Like the time I thought I saw this girl from my church in the cafeteria. But it turned out it wasn't her. And then it was all like, I'm not Beth. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry. It wasn't a big deal. Maybe I can just pretend I'm not Devon. I practiced looking confused. Oh. Hi. Can you believe I'm here? Mr. Pritchett drones on up front, not even caring that she's talking. Teachers always let new people get away with everything. I wanted to tell you that I was transferring. I'm so sorry I didn't, but I thought it would be fab if it was a surprise. Fab. Yeah, really fab. I say, still trying to pretend like I don't know her. I figure that eventually if I keep this up, she'll just be like, what's wrong? Aren't you Devon? And I'll be like, yes, I'm Devon, but I've never seen you before. And she'll be like, oh, okay, sorry, wrong Devon. And that will be that. Oh, Lexi does know my last name, but I could try to keep that a secret for a while. Maybe. Debbie, I'm so glad you're here. I've had the most horrible morning. I don't know anyone. I was totally afraid I'd have to sit alone at lunch. I've been looking for you all over. Every time I asked someone about you, they feel like they had no idea who you were. Debbie, what's wrong with you? Are you sick or something? You're being weird. Takes in the jeans and red hoodie I'm wearing. When Lexi and I spent the summer together, I never wore jeans. I wore lots of skirts and tank tops and cute shorts. I always had my hair perfectly straightened, and I wore tons of lip gloss. Seriously, are you okay? Oh my God! You're wearing the bracelet! She looks down at my wrist. And there's the purple and gold beaded bracelet we made before I left. We went to the store together to pick out the beads and spent a whole afternoon working out the perfect color combinations before stringing them together. Lexi holds up her wrist and shows me the matching bracelet. So much for pretending to be... Yeah, I'm wearing it. Oh, Debbie! This is going to be such a good year. I'm so glad I know you. I mean, how lucky am I? Knowing one of the most popular girls at my new school before I even start? So we'll sit together at lunch, right? Thank God. And I can't wait to meet Jared. Mrs. Pritchard picks that moment to tell us to quiet down.
Shh, ladies, people are working. You need to quiet down.
Meet me outside the cafe before lunch. I try not to throw up because Lexi Cortland thinks I'm dating Jared Bentley. Jared Bentley, who is the hottest guy I've ever seen. Jared Bentley, who plays soccer but is also on the 7th grade student council, which is totally contradictory. Jared Bentley, who doesn't even know I'm alive. This whole thing is my parents' fault. They hadn't gone uber psycho and said they needed time to work out their problems, or as my mom likes to call them, martial challenges and roadblocks. I never would have been sent to live with my grandmother for the summer, and I would have never met Lexi Cortland because I would never have lied about Jared Bentley being my boyfriend, or that I was one of the most popular girls in my school. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad my parents stayed together, although it is kind of annoying to see them kissing each other when I walk into the family room, whenever they think my little sister Katie and I aren't looking. But why couldn't they have stayed together with us around? Why do they have to ship us 90 miles away for the summer? I spent all my 4th period Earth Science class silently cursing my parents. And when the bell rings, ring, ring, signaling the beginning of lunch, I consider just skipping it and hanging out in the library. I get my best friend Melissa to come with me, and then I can just avoid this whole thing until I come up with some sort of brilliant plan that will allow me to save myself. Before everyone finds out I lied about Jared Bentley being my boyfriend and I get completely humiliated and become the outcast of Robert Hawk Junior High. I gotta stop doing that. I rush to the cafe, hoping Melissa hasn't bought her hot lunch yet so I can whisk her off to the library for a quick secret conference. As soon as I get there, guess what happens? Lexi Cortland screams my name from the popular kids' table in the corner. Debbie! She yells. Standing up and waving. Come on! I saved you a seat! Darn it. Now what am I supposed to do? I can't very well go sit at Jared Bentley's table. That would be disastrous. I mean, Lexi thinks he's my boyfriend. And how can I explain that one? Why and how is Lexi sitting at the popular kids' table anyway? It's her first day of school. The A-list is so not that easy to penetrate. I ignore Lexi and walk toward the corner. Hey, Mel, I say, grabbing her and lifting her out of her chair. Seriously, I did lift her. I mean, Melissa is the smallest girl in our class, which causes certain problems because she still has to buy clothes in the kids department. Also because at the beginning of the past 2 school years, her teachers have expressed concern over her size and have sent her to the guidance counselor, who then calls her parents in. And most parents have to explain to them that no, Melissa doesn't have an eating disorder, she eats tons. She does too. One time she ate a whole Domino's pizza at a sleepover and was still hungry. And thank you for your concern, but no, they're not in denial. And please don't call them down to the school anymore for this because they have jobs and it interrupts their workday and also upsets Mel. What are you doing? I'll explain in a second. I'm eating lunch. You can have mine. But I don't want yours. I want the pizza that's on my tray. What are you... No time to explain. Hey! I was looking for you. I'm sitting at your table. Can you believe it? Come on. I saved you a seat. Oh, I can't. Mel and I are going to the library and... Oh! Is this Melissa? I've heard so much about you. Who the heck are you? The thing is, I never mentioned Lexi or the other girls I hung out with this summer to Mel. I know it sounds horrible, but I told Mel my summer consisted of sitting around at Graham's with my little sister watching lots of reality TV. Dancing with the Stars was my favorite. And reading lots of books. It worked until Mel asked which books I had read, and in reality, I only read 2 books. While at Graham's, one of them, a Harlequin romance I'd found behind the bed in the guest room, and which surprisingly made me want to read others, even though I had to hide the cover from my sister Katie by reading it under the blankets with a flashlight and just after she'd fallen asleep. I really didn't think Katie should be exposed to such rippling muscles. Although at one point, I was very tempted to show her because I really couldn't figure out if the muscles on the cover model were real or added with Photoshop. But I controlled myself. Anyway, I couldn't really tell Mel I had read Harlequin, so I started making up books, and then she asked me what I thought about some of them because, unlike me, apparently Mel really had spent her summer reading. It was almost a problem, but I changed the subject by bringing up the fact that I heard Brett Madison, her crush, was going to be in advanced math this year, which was the same class Mel was in. I had to sit through half an hour of her wondering what she should do about this problem. Find a seat next to him or not, because she sat next to him, it would help her get to know him, but if she didn't sit next to him, her grade would probably be better, and how could she risk her math grade for some guy? But it was worth it.
I'm Lexi.
Oh.
Come sit.
Oh no, we can't. We're on our way to the library. The library? Don't be silly, Debbie.
Come sit with me. I'm at Jared's table.
But how? I couldn't find you. So, when I got to the cafeteria, I asked a girl where Jared Bentley was sitting, because I figured that's where you'd be. I thought you said at math you were going to meet me outside the cafeteria at the beginning of lunch. I, forgot. Come on! We're missing lunch. And that guy is always staring at me. She looks in distaste at the table next to us, where Mark Gibson's eyes are almost as big as Mel's. You can't blame him. Lexi's wearing a very short skirt. Lexi, I really can't. Why not? What's the problem? This is the moment of truth. This is the time where I should come clean. I should tell Lexi that everything I told her this summer was completely made up. That Jared Bentley and I are not dating. That no one calls me Debbie. And I don't usually look the way I did this summer. Lexi, Alexis Cortland. I just wanted to see that one of the guidance counselors, Mr. Boone, sitting behind us. Mr. Boone is really cool. Mr. Boone! What are you doing here? I'm looking for you. Why were you, looking for me? Because you were supposed to spend your lunch period in my office, going over your schedule for this year. I totally forgot. Let me just get my stuff. I'll meet in the guidance. I'll add you later, Debbie. Okay, Debbie? You want to tell me what's going on? Debbie?